Everybody, welcome to the first episode of Lockdown Cooking. Today we're going to be making lockdown dumplings from scratch. We're even going to be making the wrapper from scratch because many people don't actually have pre-made dumpling wrappers in their kitchen. So we're going to be doing that. And this dumpling recipe is both super delicious, it's really easy to make, and it's like a full meal. Ingredients for the wrapper are 4 cups of flour, 1 1/4 cup water, and extra flour for dusting. So for our filling, we're going to be using 1 pound ground pork, 2 cups green onions, and if you don't know what a green onion looks like, this is what it looks like. And then we're also going to be using 2 tablespoons garlic, 1 teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons soy sauce, 2 tablespoons sesame oil, and 1 tablespoon ginger. So first off, we're going to be making the wrapper. First step to making your dumpling wrappers is adding your water and your flour together. You're going to want to mix this really well to make this really well incorporated to have a really nice doughy texture. If you want to add your salt before you add your water, that's totally fine, but I added my salt after, so you're only going to add 1/2 of the salt though. And if your dough is really dry like mine was, you can always add a little bit of water at a time. I recommend you doing a little, like a teaspoon at a time. And then you're just going to want to mix that and knead it really well so everything will become well incorporated as well. And after that, you're just going to want to place flour on the countertop and knead that on there as well. After you knead it, you're going to want it to look like this. And then you're just going to want to put a little bit of plastic wrap over it and then just put it back in the bowl. When we made our dough, we need to cover it with plastic wrap and we need to let it rest for around 45 minutes to an hour with another towel covering it. So while that's happening, we're also going to be making our filling. So the first ingredient we're going to be adding is salt. We use half of the salt for the dough, so we're going to use the rest of it in our meat. And then after that, we're also going to be adding our green onions. So I'm going to just mix that. So after you added your green onions to your meat, you have to wash your hands first and add all your other ingredients. So I'm going to be adding my soy sauce, my sesame oil, my ginger, and lastly, my garlic. So we're going to mix that all up as well. Good. For your meat, you're going to want to mix this really well so everything is really well incorporated. You need to make sure that you spend time mixing it really well because you want to have every single flavor in every single bite you take. It smells really good. So now we need to let this chill in the fridge while we go and make our wrappers. Yes, we're back, so now we're going to start making the wrappers. So if you don't want to make your own wrappers, you can always buy some pre-made ones like this. This is what they look like. But we're going to get started. Start off by cutting the dough into little pieces depending on the size you want them. And then we're going to add a little bit of cornstarch to our area. And this is what they look like. So now we're just going to add them on the cornstarch, cover a little bit of cornstarch on them, and then mash them until it becomes this cute little round circle that you can start rolling out so you have your dumpling wrappers. Remember to coat it in cornstarch so it doesn't stick. So now we've finished our dumpling wrappers, and here is a a comparison between store-bought wrappers and homemade wrappers. And to be honest, they're actually not that different. So next, after you make your wrappers, now you're just gonna get some of your filling. And I recommend putting, for around this size, a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half, or if it's smaller, less. So we're just gonna put that in here, in the middle. And then you also need a bowl of water. And you're gonna dip your finger in the water and just put the water on the edges. So next, after that, you're gonna wanna fold it in half. There you go. So it would look like this. And I have my own way of wrapping dumplings, so I'm gonna show it to you guys. And basically you just turn it upside down into like a smiley face, and then put waters on the edges and curve it, just like that. And another way that you could do it is you could also just put it in half and pinch it, and that also works really well. Now we're gonna wrap our dumplings. So just add a little bit of meat in the middle, normally like a teaspoon depending on what size wrapper you have, and a little bit of water on the edges so they will stick together. So after you add the water, you're gonna wanna fold them in together, and you can either pinch them to make a traditional dumpling, but I have my own style of folding my dumplings. So you just add water to the edges on both sides and use the smiley face and just curve it. So you just turn it into a little cute wonton that I normally use to make my dumplings. I made our dumplings, and now I'm going to be making the dipping sauce. And it's actually really easy. It's just 1/4 cup of soy sauce, a teaspoon of sesame oil, and a teaspoon of chili oil, because I like mine spicy. So I'm just going to put the sauces in. There you go. And for cooking our dumplings, all you really need to do is boil it for around 10 to 15 minutes, but you have to make sure it rises to the top because there's raw meat inside. Here is what the dumplings look like when you first put them in. And here's what they look like when they risen to the top and they're cooked. Here is the finished product of our dumplings. And with me now, I have the professional dumpling taste tester, Caitlin.
Hi! Here.
So we're gonna get our sauce, and she's gonna try the dumplings. How does it taste?
It's good. Awesome. 10 out of 10.
It's really good. Hey guys, thanks for watching the first episode of Lockdown Kids Kitchen with me, Micah. And please hit that like and subscribe button, as I will be creating more lockdown recipes for you guys. Bye!